So Cheltenham is over, and the next step is Aintree. Everyone's on holiday this week, including me, apart from the hard-working Katie Walsh, who's in Ireland this morning. Has been working out. It's nice and bright and early. How are you, Katie?
Hey Joel, how are you? Yeah, it's actually a very nice day here in Ireland, so glad to see the sunshine coming through and a bit of spring weather. It makes work an awful lot easier.
Yeah, I'd love to say that I'm in Tenerife and Cheltenham paid for the holiday, but it's all gone on the credit card because it wasn't the best. Day one was brilliant, and then I should have just gone away after that. It fell off a cliff. As from
You should
there.
have gone home, should you?
Yeah, too right. So let's talk about Aintree. Let's talk about the Grand National. First of all, Seabass coming third. What was it, 2012? Because I backed the second and the third in that year. It was Sunny Hill Boy, wasn't it? Richie McClernand. And it was I think, week of the the whip rules had come out. And I think if you just give it to Sunny Hill Boy one more, he'd have won that. But Katie Walsh got round in third. Massive gamble. I think we went 8-1 joint favourite in the end.
Yeah, I think he was. I suppose it was just um, I'd say my father had won the national before with Ruby back in 2000 with Papillon, and and here was a horse that, and listen, he deserved to be favoured. You know what I mean? He'd won a good 2 mile chase in Limerick and then won a Leopardstown chase, and he'd all the right credentials going into the English National. He was a super jumper, and yeah, I was very lucky to get the opportunity to ride him. I thought Ruby was going to rob him off me for a while, but that didn't happen. And listen, it's not today or yesterday, but it certainly was a time in my life. That whole season is a time that I will never forget. Extremely, very, very special. Never thought I'd would get the opportunity to ride in an English National. Rode in loads of them actually afterwards, and it's always a race that's been extremely good to me and my family, and just such fantastic memories as well. It's a very special race to be involved in every way. Very special.
I always think they should change the name of amateur jockeys, especially in Ireland, because there's nothing amateur about you and Jamie Codd and Derek O'Connor and Nina Carberry and all this. And people would see, oh no, it's back in the day, 2012. It's a girl, it's an amateur. Is she going to get round these? And you're like, she is in the top 10% of that weighing room at this point. I mean, your dad, we've talked about, if you don't like racing, go watch Peppa Pig and whatever. Your dad must have not been scared about his daughter going round there. He knows how accomplished you are as a jock.
Well, listen, it was. I've been very lucky with the opportunities I've had, Joel, throughout my career, and we were in a golden era of amateurs, really, in that time. As the people you've mentioned with Derek and Jamie Codd, they were unbelievable, along with a host more of them, along with professionals back at that time as well. But yeah, I got some fantastic opportunities for Willie Mullins and for my father. But to ride Seabass for my dad in the national was, as I say, it was a extremely special time. He was a super jumper, and so much can go right and so much can go wrong within an English national, and loads of runners, and you need so much luck. You need so much luck. You know, it's a race I don't look back on an awful lot, because I do feel if I had my time over, I would have maybe done a couple of things differently. But listen, that's what you do. It was fantastic to get round, to get such a good spin, and to finish third. It was, as I say, that whole season, because it wasn't even just about that day. It was about the whole lead up to it, and it was great excitement. And for him to qualify to get into it, for me to qualify to get into it as well, because obviously as an amateur I had to have ridden a certain amount of winners over fences. And yeah, it was just listen, I could have gone down to the first, and he could have tipped up, or I could have fallen off. So to go off, he deserved to be favoured, to be fair, as I say. And it was just the whole occasion really was it was unbelievable, and it's a time in my life that I will never forget.
Have you still got a picture on the wall, that portrait of after the Grand National, where you got your hair up, your hair down? I know you hated it at the time, but did it win a prize? Like 5,000 people had put up these portraits and whatever. And there's this picture of a lady amateur with her hair down. She's got mud in her face. And it won the prize, didn't it?
Yeah, it did actually. At the time, I wasn't too fond of the picture, and I probably wasn't in great form when the picture was being taken at the time. But yeah, it actually is. My mother actually got that for me, and I have it up here in the house. And yeah, it's lovely to have it. It ended up in the National Portrait Gallery as well. So we went over to England actually to see it, and that was a good occasion as well. So nothing but good memories when it comes to Aintree and it comes to the national.
The Grand National itself now, and I don't know if the general public who just like a bet on the Grand National have noticed that the fences are smaller, there's less runners. I think it's just an industry thing. From your point of view, quickly, how much has the race changed? Is it now a classier race? Is it not the race it used to be? Is it now essentially a grade two handicap hurdle?
It's definitely changed, Joel. Obviously within the people within the industry know more about the game and about the sport than people outside the industry. They've made some great changes to Aintree with the fact that you can bypass fences now. They've reduced the numbers. They've reduced the size of some of the fences as well. It's a race that's very special, that's steeped in history. I think definitely the race has changed as regards there's more speed, and I think you really need to stay. I don't think the jockeys are going as slow as maybe they used to. I think everyone is jostling for position now. They like to be handy, and nothing really seems to come from the back anymore. But definitely the size of the fences has definitely changed. But it still is a national. It still is the national. You ask anyone, and there's loads of jockeys out there who've ridden winners of loads of nationals. But you ask anyone, what national, there is only one national, and that is the Aintree National. The Aintree Grand National is the one that everyone wants to be involved in, wants to be a part of, wants to win. Everyone as a child who's involved in the industry, grown up watching it, creating it in their back garden, creating it in their house, down their hall, jumping over pillows, pretending they were jumping Beatrice Brook or the chair. If you were lucky enough to have a pony, you created those fences out in your back field. And it's just the race that stops the nation. It's very, very special, and we need to mind it and we need to protect it.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the lads who works at Aintree in marketing, and I was saying, "Oh, Grand National's dead, isn't it?" Everyone's saying Grand National's dead. The quickest selling tickets is sold out in about 2 decades. So people choose to go with their feet and their wallets. So fair play, it's up there. I want to talk about the Ultima and the cross country and how those two races at Cheltenham have affected the market leaders now in the Grand National itself. We say it's a classier race now, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Sure, you've seen the quality of horses after winning it. You kind of need a graded horse, really, to win a national now, and that's the way it's been over the last couple of years. Or a horse that could perform in a grade one, So definitely, we talk about the ultimate and the cross country race. I suppose we talk about the cross country race because we think of Tiger Roll and his association with the cross country race in Cheltenham, and then arriving back to Aintree to win his nationals. Is Final Orders a Tiger Roll? I don't think so. I don't think
No.
he's the quality of a horse to Tiger Roll. I think he's a super horse. He's not over big. Neither was Tiger Roll. He's a super, super jumper and always was. I thought he was really good on the day. But do I think he's a grade one horse? I don't. I think he's a very good horse and he's been fantastic for his connections in Gavin Cromwell. I think he's a super jumper. But I do think you need to be a grade one contender to compete in an English national now, or that's what it looks like over the last couple of years.
I was looking through the JP battalion this year, and there's some big ones in there. There's some good ones. I'd like to start with Oscar's brother, which was fourth in the Brown Advisory at Cheltenham. That'd be a great story for Connor King, and I presume the lad would ride it as well. Would this horse, in your opinion, go to the Irish Grand National or the Aintree Grand National? It's the only horse I've backed so far at 25s for the Aintree Grand National, and I know you're gonna shoot me down here.
Well, no, listen, you see, the problem is that we're so early and the scratchings for the Irish National won't happen until this Wednesday. It's very hard to know what will happen. He ran a cracker in Cheltenham, ridden by his brother, actually, Daniel King, Connor's brother. So it's a great story. And that's the one thing I will say about the Aintree National is there always seems to be a good story attached to it. It creates a fairy tale moment. When you think back last year, you think back Willie and Patrick. You know, it's not a shock for Willie Mullins to win it, but for his son to ride the winner, it was very, very special. And wouldn't this be some story if Daniel King was to ride the winner of the National for Connor? You know, that would be just tremendous as well. But who's to know where anything will go yet? Because the problem with the Irish National is that the scratchings aren't out until Wednesday. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen. I know in the Irish National, top weight will have to be 11-12, but we won't know much until after Wednesday.
Looking through the list, Iroko, Jaguar, Johnny Who, Splans Tower. There's a couple more in there as well.
I'd be a big fan of Splans Tower because of what I've just spoken about in his form and the fact that he's a Grade 1 contender. I think if the ground was to turn up on the slower side, as Jimmy Mangan would like it, and the whole McManus team, like, he'd have to be a massive contender. Super jumper, good form, class horse. He would be at this moment in time, he'd be the one for me.
Yeah, and we were talking about stories, you know, pulled out the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Generally, punters love JP McManus. You know, he's one of those, one of the richest guys in Ireland. But punters generally, like the man. He's done a lot of great work for charity. He keeps racing going. A lot of stuff you don't see. But also Jimmy Mangan as well. You know, that would have been the story for the Cheltenham Gold Cup runner. This will be an even bigger story if this horse goes in there now. And I'm really, really pleased he likes Splans Tower. Johnny Who, Cheltenham winner. I don't know. Iroko.
Yeah, I'm going to find it very hard to go away from the Grade 1 contenders. There's a lot of them in there. There's a lot of horses that have ran in Grade 1s. And listen, and then there's going to be a couple of horses that have won handicaps that probably wouldn't be too far away in Grade 1s either, that have been mapped out for this. JP's obviously has been a huge supporter of racing in Ireland and England and everywhere. And, it's a race that he obviously would love to win. Jimmy Mangan obviously won it before with Barry Geraghty back in Monty Star, was it not Monty's Pass?
Monty's Pass, yeah.
He knows how to get one ready for an English national, and he knows what has to happen. And the race has changed a lot since Barry Geraghty and Monty's Pass, but and that'd be a fantastic story. Small number of horses. Jimmy obviously well able to get the job done, has done a marvellous job with Splans Tower so far. So for me, if you gave me a choice of riding any horse of JP McManus's, I'd be going for Splans Tower.
Sticking with the JP horses, but moving to Mullins now, looking through some of these horses. I Am Maximus won the Grand National 2024, second in Savills Chase. Was it fifth in the Irish Gold Cup as well?
Yeah, he was in the Irish Gold Cup, to be fair. Ran very well in Savills Chase behind Affidel Fury of Noel Meads. Obviously has been there, done that, has the t-shirt, but he probably is going to have a lot of weight on his back as well. But I would have liked to see him run a little bit better the last day. But listen, it's Willie Mullins, so who am I to question anything as to what might happen?
Grange Clare West is at the top of the market as well. Does that apply as well? Would you be looking at this at 10-1 now?
Yeah, and didn't Grange Clare West finish third in it behind Patrick last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Hayes, and was unlucky actually, made a couple of mistakes, but has been Grade 1 contender the whole way through for the last number of seasons. So, there's no reason why he couldn't back that up again and run another cracker. And I don't mean to rule out I Am Maximus either. But here we are talking about Grade 1 contenders, and that's what they are, and that's what this race, these horses have taken over this race. It's rare now that you see something that hasn't been a Grade 1 contender that's sneaking in bottom of the handicap. And I think that's the changes to the race this has happened because of the changes that have been made. A real good top class horse is getting to the fore over the last half a mile, and it's rare now that you see something of a lightweight sneak into it because the good horses are just too good.
Yeah, here's one for you. If you fancied Nick Rocket, last year's winner, to follow up and win again, and you watched that race in Ireland, I would have been over the moon. But the bookies pushed this horse right out to 20s, 25 to 1, some 33 to 1. And you're going, if I owned that horse, I would want my horse ridden like that as a prep for the Grand National. And but people going, oh no, it's gone. I mean, what's your take on this? If I'm the owner, I'm absolutely delighted. Or a punter.
Yeah, no, listen, as I say, like, I wouldn't ever question what Willie does or Patrick does. I mean, no one knows this horse better than them. And like, he's been running, and I don't mean to talk about grade one horses too much, but these horses have been running in high class handicaps as well. And I think those high class handicappers are borderline grade two, grade one horses, or competing in a grade one race. You know, so I'd be really happy with Nick Rocket, who's run the last day. Patrick seems to be happy off the back of it as well. So who's to know? Even Jerry
Jerry
Calam.
Colon, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I thought that was a good run the last day too, and he seems to be bouncing back to form again. But he's another high class handicapper, and he's a graded horse as well. You know, so that seems to be the main kind of focus. I think you need a real high class handicapper, borderline grade two, grade one horse.
And finally, one of Mullins here. I don't know. I can't get this horse right. Captain Cody, either outstanding or chucks it in. I can see this horse winning hard held. I don't know if Harry Cobden will take the ride or whatever, but it'll be looking round and looking round, hard held, or be out the back, never in it. But it'll be a price, Captain Cody. It's a horse I really like, but can't get the horse right.
Yeah, I don't know about Captain Cody. I think when he's good, he's very good, as you say, but he can be extremely hit and miss. And I don't really know, is his form really good enough for what he's going to be up against for the rest of those grade one contenders? Like, if you gave me Captain Kogi or Spillane Tower or Jerry Calam or Ian Maximus or Nick, like, he'd be the last one I'd pick, to be honest with you. And I don't think there's no hiding place with the gallop that they go now, and you have to stay. There's no, you can ride him whatever way you want, but he won't be rocking down to the last on the bridle. That's all I know, because that's not the kind of race it is anymore. There'll be nothing going down to the last on the bridle unless you're a proper grade one horse. And I don't
2 weeks out then. So yeah,
think
2 weeks out. So you're going Spillane's Tower.
yeah. So at this moment in time, it's Spillane Tower for me.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that Oscar's brother goes for this on at 25s, fourth in that Browns, ridden too far back. Just something, just something. Another one as well, Gorgeous Tom, which I must give a mention to. There's a big one in this horse, but
Yeah, but you say about Oscar's brother being ridden too far back. Didn't Jamie Snowden's horse not win the Brown Advisory?
that's a good point you make. Right, so I'll just move on. Before we get off this week, anything from the Irish Gold Cup? Anything you've heard? Anything you fancy? What do you want to ride in this? You know, what's been laid out?
Oh, the Irish Grand National. Well, you know, the problem is that we don't know what's going to happen yet. I
It's a
think
Wednesday.
better times ahead. I think we'll probably run in the English National, Gordon's
Yeah,
horse, or are they going to go for the Irish National? It's very hard to know what's going to happen as regards the Irish National, because we really don't know what is running and what isn't running. I know Ben Pauling is a big fancy for the Jukebox Kid, who's
yeah.
definitely on course for the Irish National. Willie has a lot of horses in there as well. Better days ahead, actually, now that I think about it. I think he's going to go for an Irish National, not the English National. 10-13. Well, the scratchings have to come out, so it'll be interesting to see. And who's to know what's going to go up in the weights as well after Wednesday. So I don't really think we can talk about a lot of horses within the race, but you'd be better off. You'll have a fair idea after Wednesday about what really is going to happen.
Okay. Are you there for the 3 days of the Aintree Grand National? Are you coming over?
Most of it anyway. So I'll
Yeah.
be there. I'm sure our paths will cross somewhere along the way anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm doing Ladies' Day as a spectator and working the Saturday, so that'll be really, really good. Anything else you want to drop? Have you got anything? Are you riding out this morning? Any big bangers in that stable that you're going? Oh, this is going to win.
Not yet, not yet. It's only Monday. Monday is more of a routine day. We get everything out and everything exercised, so I'll be going back to that there now. You're heading off to the water park. I've got my working jacket on me, Joel. I'm going back out to the yard.
Yeah. It's very similar weather in Tenerife than it is in Ireland as well. Thanks for watching us. Make sure you like, comment, anything you disagree with, normally to do with me, get it in the comment. We'll reply to you. Like, subscribe, do all that. Matt is back next week. Katie Walsh, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. You get on with your day, and I'll take the kids to the water park.
Go for it. See you, Joel. Thank you.
See you. Thank you, Kate.